we're here.
That little theme song, I feel like doing like Night at the Roxbury and just be sitting there going like,
Yes. Hey, I need to get better at StreamYard. I need to put in the time to learn how to do all of the cool stuff that you can do, because you can do some really cool things, and you can even change that theme song. And I don't know how to do that. I suppose you probably just have to make a whole new banner. It's probably easy to do that. I don't know. Anyway, one of these days.
I haven't messed around too much on mine. Too much. I've done a little things, but yeah.
Pandemic, world's ending. You know, there's been other things. You've been at Disneyland lately.
Yes, it was very fun.
My goodness. So as we're letting people get into the stream, guys, this is my dear friend, Matthew Slozer. Slozer? I always say it, and then I'm like...
Slozer, but I actually like kind of the Zure thing on it. So that's
Zure,
cool.
Slozer?
Yeah, Slozer.
Yeah.
I like that.
Okay, good. And we've got all kinds of people joining us from YouTube and from Facebook, both the Facebook for Paranormal Sarah and the Facebook for my private Sarah. So friends, family, all sorts of people from all over the world, witches and all sorts of crazy people. Mary, she's already joining us in the chat room. So just be sure and say hi. But you guys, I wanted to share Matthew with you because as far as astrology goes, I think people have been liking our astrological cheats. And I know I definitely appreciate the insight because it gives you that male perspective. It gives you're on the, again, East coast. So it's different for me in Minnesota. We both have snow right now, but we're in different spaces. So hearing how you're going to use it, and we're two different people. So we take a generalized space and kind of cut it down for people to use astrology because, hey, you want to use the tools, man. You want to use the tools, right?
We're both Earth signs. We're both Earth signs, but we got a lot of other different energies in our makeup.
Man, isn't that true? Of course, my birth, people ask me all the time, like, what is your Neptune in? And I'm like, man, I don't know it by heart. And I should. Do you know all of yours by heart now?
Yeah, I do. And I was gonna say, it's funny you call out the one. So I always say, because I always have an affinity for like water signs because I like water. I have a very, very dry chart. I only have one thing that's in water, and that is my Neptune's in Scorpio.
Oh, and see, I know what they mean, which we are going to help people do in an upcoming video where we explain the planets together. But I don't know mine personally, and that's impressive to me that you know yours. And Neptune and Pisces, I wince a little bit because dreams about life and death. I mean, who wants to dream about life and death? Matthew does. Maybe not by choice.
Yeah, I do. Sadly, and I had people that know, and I'm going to share this on my page when we're done. People saw my post and stuff. I had one of the creepiest death dreams I've ever had. Basically, I saw my kids and my wife, and they're talking, and it was actually the Pink Floyd "Comfortably Numb." So it's like your lips move, and I can't hear what you're saying, and I couldn't hear them. And then this voice said, "You can't hear them anymore because your time is up. I hope you said everything you need to say." And then it was like being on a ride. They just shot off into the distance, and it was like all black. It was really, really freaky.
Did you feel in the dream?
I was overwhelmed by this. Like, it's almost like the light flashing before your eyes. Like, holy shit! Like, what all, if I have a second, what all could I say? It was like that quick, like down. It was really freaky. It was weird.
I shared on my blog a few months back. It was like right before the new year. I had a really scary dream like that. And I really hadn't had one like that. And I mean, I hadn't or couldn't remember one. And it was one where I was like doing a Thelma and Louise, man. I was driving off a cliff. I don't know why I was driving off a cliff, but I was driving off a cliff. And in my head, I thought I was going to like jump out, I guess, but I didn't, or I couldn't. And I knew I was going to die. And I felt the falling and I felt the panic. And I knew I only had so much time to call one person. And it was the feeling of that I almost instantaneously did it, made the call, had the thing, and then woke up in that, and then trying to psychoanalyze what just freaking happened. It's really crazy.
What was weird about this was I've had dreams where I've died before, like I've actually like dying. This was, I have no idea what the cause would have been in this one. This was actually a dream about like the crossing over, and that's what was weird about it. Like all the other ones are like I'm getting shot or something's happening and oh my God, you're gonna die. This was like you're crossing over. It was very weird. Very disturbing.
I think like what What Dreams May Come with Robin Williams, that how it's shown as the smeary guy, and there's like blips and it's jumping and it's time is not of a measurement anymore. I love how they shoot that movie. Of course, who knows what it will be like, but man, it was not a scary or a fun dream. I'm shaking. By the way, someone said, "What are you shaking?" I'm shaking my Rebel drink, just so you know I'm not doing anything crazy down here. It's a chocolate mushroom drink, and I do recommend it. Anyway, you have to shake it. It says, shake a lot, like more than you would think. So that's a real thing. So that's what I'm doing. But anyway, guys, let's get to it because we didn't want to take too much time. And Mary says, the only dream I had where I rode over a cliff, I died. Man, well, then she's kind of had those dreams too. And yeah, they're not fun. They don't feel good. I remember I wake up in a panic. It's not a good feeling, but you know, we don't control our dreams unless we're doing that kind of dreaming. But so yesterday happened. That was the first. I don't know how all of you guys enjoyed the full moon in Virgo, but it was a crazy ride and it's over now. So that's good. And just the crazy, I think, epiphanies that the full moon in Virgo provides. You gave insight to what to expect for the full moon. So we're not going to go there. You guys go back and watch those videos. Hundreds of people watched it. And so they knew. And I think we all knew, but still surprised. So today the moon is in Libra. The moon in Libra. Tell me about it.
All right. Well, I can relate. So I'm a Capricorn's my sun, but I have 3 planets in Libra, so I have a lot of Libra, and so I'm almost like a Capricorn Libra hybrid. So I like Libra. So it gets a bad rap for being indecisive, but again, if you're thinking moon, so you're thinking more emotions, what's underneath the surface stuff. Like the sun is like the top of the water, the moon's more what's underneath you. Emotionally kind of introspective, internal. So if you think about this one, it's going to be maybe a little indecisive. So maybe you're going to have a little bit of a harder time making decisions. Also try to be they also try to be diplomatic, so they don't try to like ruffle feathers or ruffle waves. So maybe a little more avoidant of conflict right now, emotionally. And then there's also this kind of like indulgent piece to Libra, where very much like style and like, so you may be more attuned to more things that are more luxurious and more like stylish conscious. It's broader than that, but that's the best way I can describe it. Whereas like Taurus, it's more like comfort. Libra, it's not comfort. It's more like I want like nice things. I want to be around nice, not necessarily comfortable. Just I want things to be nice.
Right, and that it's very subjective in that nature of. I love. I say that I love. Of course, it's a love-hate because it's always both. But the different energies and how they are, and air specifically. No offense, air signs. Air energy is swords and divination. So it is flighty, it's social, it's dramatic, it needs to talk things out, and it sometimes will, and usually does, talk before it even knows what it is talking about. Quoting other people, needing to talk for other people, talking with or for other people, being interrupting is an issue. Air signs are unique in the way that they speak, verbal and nonverbal. It's very, very forward. And the Libra is the most forward of the air signs. So it's the cardinal, meaning that it's the spearhead. It's the front lines man going, running out. May not always be thinking, can be quite impulsive. It's close to the fire sign, and it's coming out of water, so it's emotionally hot. Ugh. I say ugh, only because right now we're feeling it, aren't we?
Yeah. And your signs in general they're all kind of like your intellectuals. So your air signs are going to like the TV shows and things that make you think, and like the really deep, complicated like discussions and things. It's one way to describe them. My air signs are kind of like the intellectuals out there.
Right. They want to talk things out to know what you know. It's Archangel Raphael. Oh yeah, tell me about it. Like it's constructive criticism. It's a certain kind of learning. that comes by being debated and by being tempered. And there can be conflict. So speaking of, the moon in Libra is squaring off with Pluto in Capricorn. So it says there can be an urge to try and dominate and control things, but that this will be pushed by internal conflicts more so that we will be forced to look within. Man, and no truer words were spoken. But when you think of moon in Libra squaring off with Pluto,
it's funny. It's funny that there's been Pluto aspects. Every show we've done so far, there's been a Pluto aspect. So again, Pluto I view as big changes, and it's really far out, so it's impersonal. So these are like Uranus is a planet of change, and Pluto is a planet of change as well. But one of the ways I describe it is like Pluto's like those really big changes that you have like no control over. Like Uranus might be my job is changing locations, and now I have to drive an hour across town, whereas Pluto change would be my company's packing up and relocating to California, and I either have to go or quit.
right?
It's a big change that you're going to have nothing to do about.
You
Now,
work for the Daily Wire, and they're moving.
Now, Capricorn, there's a whole bunch of planets in Capricorn last year, which was all like Capricorn's ruled by Saturn, so it's restrictions, it's rules, it's regulations, and just think about last year. Don't go out without a mask. Restaurants must be closed. It's all rule. So Capricorn's big changes, but it's all about this combo of rules, restrictions, and also Capricorn's very like achievement and status oriented. So it's wanting to accomplish things, but rules and parameters as well. So what I see is, and then square, I'm sorry, I missed
Now think about the announcements today politically that the Biden administration wanting to take some major steps to reform and work on major restrictions to the gun rights and Second Amendment. Rules, life changing, take it from my cold, dead hands, Pluto and Capricorn. And what was the other big thing? I mean, aside from different book bannings and things like that, Texas, North Dakota, Iowa, Mississippi now lifted no masks. Texas, Mississippi, no masks. Going back.
I think part of that is there's so much energies that are in Aquarius this year versus last year was Capricorn. So last year was restrictions. This year you're going to see a lot of just kind of rebellion, and I'm going to do my own thing, and that's going to go in all different directions. So it's going to be, screw it, I'm not wearing a mask anymore, all the way up to, we're going to protest Dr. Seuss is a bad guy. Like it's just going to be all kinds of. I said this a couple weeks ago when we did this. It's going to be chaos. Cannibalism.
Eat them, get them. Air.
So when I think square, square is opposition. So I know I always feel funny because I say that because I know opposition is a different aspect. But square, I think of it. So what I look at is these big changes that are going on are going to be in conflict with your internal wanting to keep things balanced, not wanting to have conflicts, not wanting to, wanting to keep things nice. So this is going to be one of those, I may not want a conflict, but crap's going to happen. That's going to throw in my, so I'm going to be dragged into things whether I want to do it or not. Then I'm going to have to choice. Am I going to just walk away, or am I going to let it get sucked in? But there's going to be a lot of, so we always give the advice of what to watch for. So this is one, since folks are on social media right now, don't take the bait. There's going to be a lot of things to try to suck you into conflicts during this time frame, and you're probably not going to want. So just again, sit on stuff because you're going to get triggered real easy.
Control, the shadow work, very much about control. How do you deal with chaos? How do you deal with the internalization of chaos? How can you find peace within? How can you use the ways of the Jedi to do this? Very important. Magic, of course, which is why you guys are all here.
I got a good example really quick. So what I see is the dynamic going on is this could be one where somebody who's watching us right now, it could be a friend of ours, and Sarah and Matt are going head to head on something. And then we turn and go, hey, you, what do you think about this? And put you on the spot where all you really want to do is keep things balanced. You don't want anything to do in this. And then it could even extend to where, I might send a message and go, well, if you're really my friend, you really
You
back me up. But Sarah's being really mean. And you're going to get caught into this pull of two other people in a conflict trying to suck you into it. That's what you got to watch for.
And do I know that's true? Preach it, universe, preach it. That's true. I can tell you it's true. So amp it up a little bit. Let's take it into the end, because guys, this week and this month is going to be interesting. When I say interesting, I mean absolutely. And with not the Gypsy tribe, we talk about all the different things, utilize prophetic magic and kind of get that theme of the month to correlate with holidays and things. But the astrology alone is going to be really crazy. And tomorrow, Mars, the planet, the warrior, what we fight for, enters Gemini. Matt, what does that mean to you?
Well, I'm happy that it's moving out of Aries because I think I've shared this before that if you find out where Mars is in your chart, when it is the exact opposite of where it is in your chart, that is like supposedly your energetically weakest point. So my opposite is mine's in Libra, so my opposite's Mars. So the fact that it's now kind of like waxing and getting closer to is a good thing. So Mars, conflict, aggression. This is just think very like male energy. So this is just, what we would picture just, testosterone, So you're moving from an area of wanting stability. I think we used before kind of the battlefield analogy that if you were like fighting and engaging in things in Aries, Taurus was the time that you went back and you kind of refortified your defenses and took some time. And so Gemini is interesting because you kind of have this two-faced energy and this kind of indecisive energy. And so there's going to be a lot of, you're going to want to move, you're going to want to do something, but you're probably going to be conflicted in which way to go. And being in that airspace, very communicative. So it'll be very kind of yang out there, engaging. So this is a lot of probing, getting information, trying to figure out which way am I going to go? Which way am I going to go? I'm not sure.
Which way do I go? Where do I go?
You might not decide, there's other aspects that could push it at that point, or it could be when it moves into Cancer. That's when you make a decision on that. But yeah, this will be a lot of external focused, a lot of probing, a lot of intellectual trying to figure out, but a lot of it's going to be on where do I want to drive? Where do I want to drive next? Where do I want to, I'm in my car and I could go to the beach. I could go to the mountains. Which way do I want to go? Which way do I want to go? Which way do I want to go? And then
I like where you see yourself mentally and how it's a movement.
Yeah.
Because Gemini, I mean, and its association planetarily to Mercury, it's the fastest moving and going around in this kind of quick planet closest to the sun. So it's ha, 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 ha. I think of the cats on a hot tin roof. I think of that kind of music playing. Gemini, we say two-faced, but also that indecisiveness and two-faced, not in a bad way ever.
Yeah, I didn't mean it as a negative. I just meant, right. Yeah.
But that ability to see both sides and utilize both perspectives. Gemini is a great person to have if you are looking for constructive criticism, building a business, wanting to gather information, wanting to get advice, wanting to make use of, we're going to go vote, let's talk to both sides. Let's get a good overall whole image, right? And it's to do so mentally. And this is going to kind of continue to surge and motivate you, all of your ideals, plans, passions, things like that over the next few weeks. And then with that tomorrow, now this starts tomorrow, it's also Venus. So Venus, vagina, female, sensual, ooh, ooh, ooh. In Pisces, Venus and Pisces, sextile, it's the way that it's relationship to Uranus and Taurus. So it says with that, you find new ways of dealing with others and that relationships will make improvements that help you feel more connected. Finally, Venus and Pisces, sextile Uranus and Taurus. What specifically do you see with that, though?
So for folks who maybe aren't as involved in this stuff, so trine and sextile, they're both kind of positive, call them kind of easy aspects, but sextile is not as intense as a trine. So I view like sextile as more they help each other. Whereas trine's more like some big obstacles getting out of the way that lets those two energies work together. Sextile's more like it's a little more complementary. So, here you have Venus and Pisces. Pisces I always find, I've said this before, it's I find that one the hardest out of the 12 signs to try to like describe, because again, you got this kind of dual energy to it. It's very introspective. It's very artsy. It's the last of the signs. So there's like a martyr energy to it as well. There's this kind of whole energy of like endings, but there's also ruled by Neptune. So there's this kind of like dreamy, you can self-decept, you can self-deceive yourself. So it's a very, I know last time we were talking about like, it's water. And so you think of just like boundaries. Water's a solvent and it can dissolve things. That's kind of how I view Pisces, is like it can dissolve and suck other things into it. Not in a negative way. It just can kind of do that. Uranus is kind of like the rebel. So it's kind of, I said before, it's kind of like your more short-term chaotic change. So it's stuff that comes out of left field, but
Winona Ryder.
Yeah, it's fast. It's not these big like Pluto things like I got to move across country. It's more, this is going to screw me up for a couple months kind of deal. And that's in Taurus, which is a really odd combo, because Taurus is almost the opposite of that. Taurus is stability. It's that big bull on the hill. I don't want to move. I just want to sit and kind of. So we talked about this before. I almost view, the rebel in Taurus, or Uranus in Taurus, of the, the rebellious person, but they're kind of just sitting on their couch smoking a lot of pot, just talking about all the things they would like to do to rebel, but yeah, we'll do it later. We're just going to kind of sit here now.
Yeah, we're going to do that.
Combine that with Venus romance in this Pisces deceptive kind of, that is a weird combo.
That's tomorrow.
Yeah. So
with Mars.
This is just another one. I feel like I'm not going to give good advice here. Here's just another one that I would just give red flags of. Just really pay attention before you like say or do anything tomorrow, because that whole Pisces energy can self-deception is really high. Self-deception in romance could be bad. And then you have this whole, I may want to do something rebellious coming out of left field, but I'm also not want to really get off my couch. So this could be something where I'm just going to go to like extreme examples, but you hear from the person you've been pining for your long lost love comes into your life, and you like, drop everything and quit your job, and I'm going to go ahead and move. And they come back and they're like, oh yeah, I must have been drunk or something. I'm so sorry for sending you that text, or something. It's going to be one of those weird where something might appear like this opportunity. And again, we're talking Venus. I'm thinking romantic. You're going to see this like romantic opportunity show up, but then the person that presented that opportunity is going to be just like, yeah, I don't know what I was talking about. It's just deception. Things are not going to be what they seem. So you really cautious on that romantic front again. I know that was kind of our warnings last week, but it's the same kind of energies. Really
same kind of energies of just people aren't going to care so much either what you do or what you think or even what you feel. Like you can cry, you can feel offended. People aren't caring what people are feeling right now. It's about what you're saying. That's really, really going to be important and probably the most influential of all the ways that we work magic. It's going to be in your air. So when we say as witches or magic workers or alchemists or whatever to be very mindful specifically of your air, so what you're saying and what you're hearing, this is also nonverbal language, which is so much of that is unconscious. So to be aware, to be present, you're going to look strange. You're going to be Winona Ryder, needing to be in Taurus, and that this has got to work. Otherwise, stuff's going to go awry. And it's going to be a Bonnie and Clyde, like, that's not love. That's crazy. That's going to be tomorrow. And yeah, we don't need that. We don't need that energy, and we don't need someone to show up at their front door and say, well, I thought you said you liked peas. And you're like, no, I did. They're like, that's why I brought you a life supply. And it's like, what? What? Like, just weird.
And none of these energies are good or bad. I just don't the Venus and Pisces gives me some red flags, and Taurus and Uranus gives me red flags.
Not
And so,
that they're bad. I just see a lot of red flags.
and so combining those together, and that's the thing is, they're both yin, so, water and earth work well together, so they can work well together. What I'm just saying is they
It's
could
just
work well together for something really not
Artex,
good. They can
Artex,
be
no!
really good at creating chaos in your life. So you just got to be really, really cautious.
Don't let the swamps get to you, Artex. No. This is a serious thing. We have to not. We have to just get through it with the air and not,
I
get
go back
through
to what I
it.
said last time is boundaries, and just realize that kind of Pisces water can dissolve boundaries. So know where your boundaries are, because they could get really, really foggy. And you could have, and again, Uranus is like those out of left field, like chaotic. So this could be bizarre stuff and kind of that romance front coming out of left field, and just be in your
Bizarre.
game because it might not be real.
Bizarre, delusional, strange people. I'm getting a people are strange when you're a stranger. That's the song I'm hearing in my head. So I'll be so excited when I do my astrological breakdown sheet later in my meditation and I play music. When that plays through my Pandora, I'm going to go, what? And that'll be my witchy moment. And you guys will all be a part of it. And I'm setting that seed now.
Hopefully it's nobody that watches this videos, but somebody somewhere is going to end up leaving their relationship to run off for somebody they met online, drive cross country to find the person, only to find out that they were not a young, attractive person. They were a 70-year-old pretending to be somebody else.
Right. Just throw the whole life away.
That's the kind of crap that falls into this energy.
Yep. Be careful. Careful. Careful, careful, careful. I quit. I'm moving to Pennsylvania to be with Sheila. Be careful. Are you sure you know what you know?
Yeah.
Don't
And I'll say too, Venus, in addition to we always go to romance. That's usually where I go for it. But Venus can also be money and financial. So there could be like really bad like financial opportunities that might pop up tomorrow that look really, really, really good and aren't what they seem. So
like
watch for like scams and stuff tomorrow.
TurboTax and things like this.
Like there'll be a lot of more deceptive than this, but tomorrow will be the day where you get lots of emails from that prince in Nigeria that's stuck and looking to get rid of his gold bars or whatever that is.
Yep, needs to sell his diamonds quickly. All right, so let's do this. We've got movement from the 4th, 5th, and then into the weekend. And the weekend is just kind of starting off with some moon movement. But so let's take it out here strong with Thursday. I love Thursday, right? The spark of creation, the spark of needing to get things done. And it's Mercury in Aquarius, which is kind of interesting. And that's conjunct Jupiter in Aquarius. So 2 Aquariuses, because so many planets are in Aquarius right now, right? Sage of Aquarius. But Mercury ideas, being big and bold, Aquarius. So let yourself think big, think bright, think bold, and to communicate in that, it's kind of funny, the word that I'm reading in the online description of this energy is bombastic. And this weekend I talked about Sting and how he's traveling with Shaggy. And I was like, Shaggy and Sting, right? Someone's like, who's Shaggy? I was like, Mr. Bombastic. Whoa. Dated me. But that's Mercury in Aquarius conjunct Jupiter in Aquarius. Matt, break it down.
So conjunct, you combine the things. So it kind of look like, if you think of like a centaur, you take a horse, you take a person, you get a centaur. That's kind of, so you take the 2 energies, you combine them into one thing. So in this case, you have, first of all, the Aquarius energy, again, it's kind of rebellious, it's in air, but it's fixed air. So this is kind of the, if you're thinking, sometimes I know we've done this before, we've done kind of the high school stereotype. So you're like high school stereotype Aquarius, kind of the rebel. So either, the person with the pink hair and the 27 piercings, or, the
long-haired diamond earring guy in the Breakfast Club.
The hippie, totally like burned out, like it's just that kind of like, we're just going to play by our own rules kind of energy. But it also rebels against kind of the standard stuff that's out there. So you have that's the main energy. Then you have Mercury, which is thoughts and communication. So lots and lots of communication. And Jupiter, kind of luck, opportunity, very expansive. So where my head goes is, we started getting these announcements that these states are opening up their rules. Ooh. You're going to see this mushroom on Thursday. People are just going to be running out going,
Partying,
or we could
get
go,
it.
I might be in the most restrictive state, and I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna open all my stuff up because everyone's
Texas is
behind me
doing
now.
it.
You're gonna see all this. So there's gonna be lots of communication. That's all going to be about seeing this opportunity, and we're going to seize this opportunity, and we're going to like drive for a new tomorrow. And so, lots of
Aquarius,
evolutionary type stuff.
Jupiter. Gimme, gimme,
Yeah.
gimme, 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 gimme more. I think of Chris Farley.
Once that conjunct ends, these revolutionary ideas might not look so good by like Saturday or Sunday, but Thursday is going to be the day of all,
Hey, someone brought cocaine. Let's do it. That's what Thursday. Be careful. Ideas. You're going to want to take those ideas you've been thinking and boom, you're going to want to be bold and do it, but do it in a positive way. Don't do it in a negative way.
On a personal standpoint, this will be the things like, I've been sitting on this idea that I wanted to pitch to my boss for like 3 years. Today's the day I'm going to do it. Like, it's going to be that kind of stuff. Like today's like, I'm going to seize the opportunity. I'm going to communicate. I'm going to tell people what, and so it's,
and Thursday would be a good day to do that.
Yeah, it would.
If you do it on a positive frequency. If you put something out there in a negative way, it's going to be amplified because of Aquarius and because of Jupiter, because they're expanding planets. Because they're expanding.
The thing I would say is make sure it's your thoughts and your ideas, because that's a positive energy. But the warning is not to get sucked into somebody else's
plagiarism, reputation, gossip, fame.
Yeah, because people are going to be throwing out all kinds of ideas. Thursday is going to be the day where you're going to see all kinds of like.
Oh yeah, we're filming with Michael Jackson. Yeah. You in?
Yeah.
What? What did you say? Yes. Be careful. Positive, but double check it.
Some of these are going to be good ideas, and some of these are going to be total dogs that might sound really good on Thursday, but not look so good later.
Right, and be bullshit lies. Bullshit lies. I smell bullshit lies. There'll be a lot of that on Thursday too, because there'll be optimistic bullshit lies though. They'll smell really good. It'll be a powdered, sugar covered turd.
Jupiter's glass half full. Saturn's glass half empty. So
right.
Jupiter's all very, yeah, it'll work. Yeah, go ahead.
Do it.
You can do it.
Do it. Do it. Do it. And we kind of, we're going to watch people go both ways. It's going to be great. The goal is to just do things mindfully, be in control, know that you only have so much control and what those things are. Don't freak out like a baby or throw a tantrum. The best thing is to be non-emotional in this time, not dissociative, not neglectful, but mindful, rational. Don't speak on something you don't fully have time to process or feel about or be aware how it's going to be misinterpreted. Just be aware, because Friday is a 4th quarter moon phase in Sagittarius, which is fire. This is clean up, clean out, clean, move it out, keeping up, keeping out, freedom, freedom. It's Friday and it falls on a Friday. Get out of town, Matt. Tell me what it's going to happen.
The Sagittarius is the kind of the explorer, the thrill seeker of them all. The Sagittarius is like the bungee jumper of the astrology, people. So they're the ones that are going to take, like, coming out of all the revolutionary things on Thursday. There's going to be some folks, there's going to be this energy to, just go do it. Just, pack up your car and just drive cross country. Just do it, man. And I was going to go back and say, when you said about the Mars, I was just thinking about this. The Mars in Gemini, all this stuff's going to come up on Thursday, and then you're going to have, everybody's going to be kind of stuck in this. Do they go to the mountains? Do they go to the shore? Do they go to the mountains? Do they go to the shore? Do they go to the mountains? Do they go? And then, so Friday, some folks will start making some decisions and start doing some stuff. But you got to remember, it's like a bungee jumper energy. So it's this kind of impulsive,
spontaneous.
Not as impulsive as Aries. Aries is like, but Sagittarius is kind of the
still spontaneous.
I want the experience. I want the
do it. It's about your behaviors. It's about something that you are actually going to see someone engage in. And that's important to note with a moon phase, specifically because things like freedom, these deep-seated feelings that are connected in so many ways to the outside realm, the Sagittarius, and that, you are what you do. No, man, you do what you are. It's going to be this coming out of an airspace where you've heard both things, it's going to be punny. It's going to be a play on words. It's going to have something to do with what you said. And that if you weren't specific, the universe is going to snatch that up and be unique with it. So be very specific in your magic and what you're saying, specifically in your invocation. So if you're someone who's praying right now, be specific in who and why you're praying. If you're looking for freedom and saying, that's it, I'm done. Be careful. People that are in your vicinity might mistake what you just said. Don't damn yourself in that sense. And then the weekend, you've got the moon in Sagittarius squaring off with Neptune in Pisces, with also the next day, the moon in Capricorn sextile Venus in Pisces. So I know that's a lot and I said a lot, but I kind of want to leave people open to just the 30 minutes. And so the weekend, that's moon movement with squaring and sextiling. That's both conflict, different energies. Neptune and Venus, big planets, both in Pisces. That this is going to be a weekend that's going to be foggy. It's going to require that we be grounded. It's going to be pretty uncertain. Make the most of your connections. Without saying too much about that, when you think of those movements of a moon in Sagittarius, a moon in Capricorn, I mean, both of those, and then Neptune in Pisces and Venus in Pisces, what would you say for the weekend is the most important thing to keep in mind?
So I was going to say, so Sagittarius, the other way I would describe them is it's kind of like the person that says we value experiences more than things. And so we sold our house and got a camper and we're going to drive across the country and just do stuff. You know, not that that's good or bad, but it's that kind of, it's experience and moving. So you have that, again, moon under, so emotional energy in conflict with, you know, Neptune is like dreams, desires, deception, and it's in its home sign in Pisces. And so again, it's, you may want to, I would not make any big choices to what I'm going to explore or to go, because again, you have that delusional aspect on over the weekend. So again, I just hold back, see how things look on Monday.
Right. Anytime I see a lot of moon movement, I think of reflection. I think you said that in the very beginning of your description of the moon energy. Reflect. And I mean, the moon is a feminine. We say feminine. It's also bad. Thank you, Christians. Meaning that it's negative, not bad, negative, but the polarity that it's passive. It's receiving, like a female. It's like a phone jack. It's the receiving end. It's to go in. It's to be introspective, and the moon is found there. It might be easier for women to do that. It to men might look like they're isolating. To women, it might look like they're scheming, and they might be, because that's how women be. But that moon energy is that we will be deep in thought. That's important to know, that everyone around you will also be thinking those things, and that there's a lot of water energy, which means it's kind of linked to feelings. I think of the puppet. I think specifically, it's kind of weird. I think specifically of The Sound of Music when they're doing the puppet, yodel, 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 and they're doing a little dance off. And that's a scene that like it's supposed to be kind of a date or something for the woman to meet his kids, and they're engaged to be married, but really he loves the gorgeous Juliette Lewis, and the kids are falling in love with her as the mom figure, and it's like a love scene of everyone falling in love with the wrong people, and there's even kind of a little guitar moment there at the end, and oh, you know, and this is a pivotal moment in the movie where so many things come into play. It's very much going to be like this weekend. Be aware of the puppet strings and what's happening and what people are saying, why they're saying that. It's going to be fun. It's going to be interesting, politically speaking, watching people that we love, and also random people make really important life decisions, possibly really good ones, possibly really bad ones. It's going to be interesting. But if people want to get a reading, if people want to get really into their astrological charts, I know that you've been doing some readings for people to help them break down their charts and explain how their energies work so that they can understand astrology. They can contact you directly. Yep. And also listen to your radio show, your podcast every Sunday, right? Tell us where they can find you, Matt.
Yeah, on the Paranormal Channel on YouTube, and then Sunday Night Dead. We're on every Sunday night, 9 Eastern time. We have our own playlist on that channel. There's some other great shows on the channel as well. But yeah, give the channel a like, and
Subscribe.
give my show a like and subscribe.
Yeah,
We do
share
all
it.
kinds
It's
of cool stuff.
really fun. And you guys, this is one of the reasons I bring Matt on, and one of the reasons that we're doing this collaborative effort is because I love his perspective. I like being able to talk about the same thing in a different way. And then as far as astrology goes, being this is something that you is a knack for you, and you're an analyzer. That's what you specialize in. It's one of your professional specialties, actually. So being efficient with the information you are given and making it work for you, that's what you're about. And so astrology is kind of a natural niche, I think, in that magical space. And I want to utilize it. And anything that's good for me that I can use as a helpful tool, I want to share that with people that I love. So you guys feel free to tag and share this with people that you love, because this information can be helpful and it can help you feel and make sense of some of the emotions and things going on in your space and kind of see it in a different way. So if you know someone that could benefit, let them know and get in touch with Matt, and then, follow, like, and subscribe to Paranormal Sarah, because I'm going to continue to share and do these with you, Matt, as long as you'll let me.
I
And
love doing these. Absolutely.
yeah. So, well, that's it, guys. We're going to leave it at that 30-40 minute mark for you guys to marinate on it, but feel free to comment below any questions. We do go back. Matt and I are both pretty good about it. That's one of the things I like. Again, another thing that I think is cool. The type of person that goes back and checks the comments, interacts with you, and you're not going to be left open-ended. So feel free to leave a comment. Let us know what you think. And then hopefully we'll see you next week here, same place, same time, talking astrology. Right?
Absolutely.
If we survive the weekend, which we will. We're gonna be great. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be Winona Ryder. It's gonna be expansive. There's gonna be Chris Farley energy. It's gonna be a party, really. We're just gonna be crazy. We're just gonna be
we hit almost every. I think we may have hit every planet except for Saturn. I think we
yeah,
hit all the planets.
we did. But we kind of know where Saturn is, Aquarius, and that it is dealing with all kinds of rules. And man, we see that in politics. And so it's, again, how'd you know that was going to happen, Sarah? A lot of it is astrology. A lot of it is putting all the pieces together and making the best sense of it. Astrology is a really big part. It's like having the lid to the puzzle. It's pretty important.
Well, it's like the girl in the red dress in the Matrix. It's kind of
It's the
like just
girl in the red dress.
It's not that it's the cause. It's not that it's the cause, but it gives you hints as to what's going on energetically out there. It's not causing it. It's just giving you clues.
But did you see her? Did you see her? I love it. Okay, guys. And that'll tell you exactly why I like mixing and mingling with cool magicians. And that is Matthew for sure. So you guys, thank you for tuning in. Have a great night. It is what? Tuesday, Taco Tuesday. So hopefully you guys are enjoying that energy, and then have a very good, safe Wednesday. Until next time. Good night.
Take care.
Bye.